Okay, so it's 2 minutes later. I looked up when Swablu evolves. It is 2035. So yeah, no. It is getting the experience share. So yeah, it evolves very late. So we're not getting that until like Gym 5. But I think like, cause I think like Clay's like 31. Normally in game, so he's like 40. No, he's like 39. No, I think he is actually 40. Level 40. So I think he is actually supposed to be, he is actually going to be level 40. Because the higher the gym leaders levels get, the higher the boost gives them. Because right now they're in the 20s, right? So they're gonna get like a level 4 level boost. No, wait, I was thinking of 30% increase, my bad. So right now they're only getting like a 4 level increase, but now they're gonna get like 6. So now the levels are gonna get like ramp up much higher. Then when they get to 40, they're gonna ramp up by 8. So anything like 42 or above is gonna go to 50. Anything 50 or above is going up by at least 10. I do like this. This is a really cool thing they did with DS to make things seem really large. I like this a lot. It's a lot better than what they did in X and Y. X and Y just looks really bad compared to this game, honestly. I don't know, I didn't really like X and Y. There's like a lot of stuff that they just like, they introduced into the game that does nothing. Like the power plant. There's supposed to be a secret, another power plant you can get to through an event to get the Volcanion. They just didn't do anything with it. They just said fuck it and didn't do anything with it. They didn't bother. I think the lore, I think the whole war thing is cool, but they don't expand upon it enough. Like Tierno goes like, we heard the screams of all the Pokemon that got frozen. It was haunting, and then nothing happens from it. They're just like, okay. They're not like affected by it in any way. I'm just like, why even mention it? Why even mention it if you're not gonna like have it affect the characters? Also, like a lot of the companions are really bad. Rivals are like really bad in X and Y. They're very bad stereotypes. Like they're all like basically it's like it's very corny and not in a good way. So I remember the little girl with the pigtails, she's like into puzzles, and that's like her whole character. She's into puzzles. Tierno's into dancing, and that's all he does. He's barely in the plot anyway. He shows up like a couple times, but does literally nothing, and he fights you I think like twice. He fights you like after leaving the capital city and like right before you go to the 8th match. And then Trevor is just like the Pokedex guy. But you always win against him, so it's never interesting. It's like, I'm gonna challenge you to my own kind of Pokemon battle. And he says the exact, he's just like, he says this every time. Basically, I want to check your Pokedex. He says, basically, I'm challenging you to my own kind of Pokemon battle. And he says that every single time you meet him. Every single time. The exact same way. He doesn't change. And I'm like, that's not how real people talk. Not say it the same exact way, especially to one of his friends. Like, it's so weird. And then the main rival is just your stereotypical rival. You know, doesn't have anything like nothing really interesting. Nothing really happens with her arc. I don't even think they really have an arc. Their arc is basically you're just better than them. Oh, it's really weird. This guy gets me big normally. No, it's this guy. Yeah, and then you also fight him, like, I think once in the whole game. No, you fight him twice, I think. You fight him in, like, a weird spot, I think before the second bed and before the 8th. But he's, like, complete pushover. And then the normal rival's just like, eh. Normal rival, I'd say, is also kind of boring in X and Y. The only kind of interesting thing is Lysander, but like he's just like he's such a weird villain. He wants to preserve immortality by using a death weapon to kill everyone else. To like keep resources. But the game never goes out of its way to explain to you that resources are scarce enough to have this be warranted. Like, the whole thing about Team Flare is that, like, they're like an organization. I guess spoilers about X and Y, but really, are you... Okay, here's the plot for X and Y. It's not super in-depth. But basically the plot, the villain team is a bunch of rich people that bought into, like, places on, like, a bunker for them to survive, like, the apocalypse. So that there would be more resources. But if you're gonna establish that as like a motive for the villain, you also have to establish that there are limited resources. To have a reason for the villain to do this. Because if you don't establish there are limited resources, guess what happens? The villain just seems really dumb. Because in the Pokemon world, limited resources have never been an issue. So to all of a sudden have a villain that fights for limited resources, that could be cool if you establish it. Like what they could have done is they could have had a scene where like food is scarce in certain towns, and other towns are hoarding food because they don't want to share and lose out on the resources. They want to have another town eat all their resources. Like, you could have had that and had that be a conflict. And have Team Flare somehow be involved with that. And then you could have it all roped together. But in the end, you fight Team Flare like what? You see Team Flare twice. Once at the power plant to steal power, which never gets explained. I don't know how they steal power, but whatever. And then 2, you find them at the Pokeball factory because they wanted to steal a Master Ball. Which I guess makes sense, but... Oh yeah, and then you find them at their, like, hidden base. Also, Lysander is one of the most obvious villains. I mean, so is Chairman Rose, I guess, but... Yeah, so is Chairman Rose, I guess, so I can't really complain. So they didn't really learn the lesson after X and Y. Oh, well, like... Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. Well, the Sun and Moon did much better. But that's the problem. When you establish a villain, you have to establish a reason why and have it backed up by other stuff. Especially if you have it, especially if you're gonna establish a reason that, like, could be, like, seen as, like, somewhat heroic. You know, like, could be seen as like, oh, it's the only solution, you know. But they don't do that. Sorry. They, like, don't do that, and it really sucks. That makes Lysander seem really stupid. And then there's a weird thing at the end where he's like in like robotic armor for some reason. It's like he's being controlled or something. It's really weird. It's not explained at all either. Like they don't try to explain it, and I'm just like, what is going on? Like, it's never explained why he's wearing this weird like robotic getup. Unless it explained it in some like post-game thing. I don't remember them ever explaining it. It's really weird. I don't like it, personally. And then Lysander just kills himself and all his troops. Which is fucked up. Which is fucked up which is messed up, but also like it comes out of nowhere. He's just like, I'm just gonna end it all. Boop. It just sends, and he just kills everyone. Also, the fact that one of the Elite Four members is part of Team Flare, and it's never done, nothing happens with it. It's so lame. So basically, one of the members of Team Flare, more specifically the Fire one, is part of Team Flare. And she, like, absolutely despises your character for, like, getting rid of, for causing Team Flare to, like, explode. But absolutely nothing happens with it. Like, they don't do anything with it. They could have done something cool where, like, you see her, or, like, you get, like, oh, an Elite Four member works with Team Flare. That's showing that, like, they're... But they don't do anything with it. Oh, I accidentally ran into a Pokemon. That's decent. Like, they don't do anything with it, and it's so lame. Oh, come on. I'll show you a quick ball. It'll still work turn 2, I think, really well. Nope, I wasted that. Yeah, but that's where Random X and Y. I am not a huge fan of it. Plus the game lags, which is really bad. Like, the game lags. Plus this game, I think, is in 60 FPS. I think Black and White was in 60 FPS, right? X and Y is in 30. And that's the jump to 3DS, right? So you're jumping to new hardware, but you're cutting the FPS in half, which is no. Just like you. So yeah. Yeah, the game also doesn't run very well on 3DS. It doesn't run well. The roller skating thing is kind of cool. Except when they make it replace the circular pad completely, so the easiest way to walk is just you roller skating. So like, even if you want to walk, you do roller skates because it's easier to use the circle pad than the D-pad. It's a little bit annoying. Oh my god, how hard is it to catch Machado? I'm too afraid to attack it. No, some people, like, me, I'm not always going to be, like, super positive about the Pokemon series. I'm gonna, like, because my other problem with the Pokemon series, right, is that it doesn't change. Like, they release stuff unfinished and buggy as fuck. Because they can make money off of it. And Pokemon fans will buy it, which sucks. I mean, I'm a Pokemon fan and I won't. Because I'm not going to give Game Freak money for a half-ass product, you know? Especially in today's age. Especially when Pokemon, right, is one of the biggest media franchises. Pokemon is one of the biggest media franchises ever. Basically, ever. It makes billions of dollars a year. Like, tens of billions a year. And it makes more money than 90% 90 to 95% of any other video game franchise or media franchise in general. So it makes that much money, but they can't oh my god, that would be insane. But yet they're still ass backwards when it comes to making games. It doesn't make sense. And I know Game Freak's policy is to use as small a team as possible. I know that. And it's partially because of management, because Game Freak is way too small a company for how big an amount of money they make. Like, Game Freak is a company of like 100 people. Like, Rockstar is like thousands. So that's part of it. And the other reason is the deadlines they're given is just no. You're a multi-billion-dollar franchise. Take a breather and allow yourself to make something good, instead of just rushing everything so you can get the new hottest thing off. Because that's the other problem, is that, like, when you rush everything, it just sucks for the experience, and like it just means you're only in it for the money, and it's like, why? Those are pretty good. Bold kind of sucks, but also I'm gonna lose Clear Body when I evolve. Shock? That's kind of funny. When does Machop evolve? Is it 28? Oh, it is 28. Okay. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. That's my 2 cents on it. It's dumb. I feel like, and you can make like really insane Pokemon games if you just put in all this effort. Like, and that leads me to another thing. I like fan games and ROM hacks, right? Pokemon. I hate when people immediately go like, "This thing is edgy, so I won't play it." It's like, fuck off. Honestly, oh my god, it has Poison Heal. I personally hate when people just say like, "Ooh, that's edgy," like, cause like, in my like, I just think it's I think it's a super overused word for anything that deals with somewhat like dark matters. It's immediately rolled off as edgy. And I'm not talking about like the taboo stuff. I'm just talking about like, hey, death happens, like a war or something, and people just go like, "Oh, that's edgy." I don't like that. And I hate when people go like, "Oh, that's edgy because someone dies." It's like, okay. What are you, 2? And not every story needs to have death. I'm not saying that. No. You can have a You can have a cheerful story and have it be cool, right? But like you like having dark elements, I think is neat. And being able, having the confidence to have that in your story and have not like be like is cool. Now, there are some stuff that I'm not okay with. I'm less okay with that. Like, I'm okay with it like being in the story, but like not if it's shown like gratuitously, like rape. Like if it's in the story, I'm like fine with it. You know, like if it's there, cool. If it's shown gratuitously, I'm less okay with it. I'm just like, oh, I didn't need to see it. You know, it's cool. It's cool. It's like I'm okay with it being in the story, but like just don't show it to me, because like, ew. But I guess if it adds to the story, no, I'm not gonna hate it. I'm just gonna be like, yeah, I don't like it. I don't want to watch it. I don't want to watch that part. I mean, one of my favorite stories is Berserk, and Berserk is like fucking brutal. But I will admit, Berserk has weird moments that probably shouldn't have been in the story, like the rape horse. Or sorry, the grape horse. That is a really dumb moment and doesn't really add anything to the story. It adds basically nothing. Except it gives a moment where Farina, I think her name is, sees that Guts is not a terrible person or a serial killer because he protects her. I think that's the reason for it, but they could have done it where they didn't have the rape horse. Sorry, grape horse. Yeah. Luckily, that was like a one-time thing. As far as I remember. Where it felt like it was completely like just there for shock value. It didn't like add anything to like a conflict or something. Alright. Memory. I really need stronger moves. I really need stronger moves. I really do not have many good moves, huh? I have one physical TM. I can't learn it. Can't learn the fighting move either. Oh, this sucks. Now, pre-poison my choke, you can just go to Tao. But yeah. I do understand, though, when people don't want to read stuff about that and they get triggered and all that by, like, traumatic events they've had. Yes. That's fair. That is completely fair, and no one... But hating on the author for that, I don't think is okay. Unless they have like weird reasons for doing it. If it's yeah, because I don't like hating on someone just because they added something, unless it's like racist rhetoric or like it supports something, you know. That's like Like the whole Star of David thing with the Harry Potter bank. That's really weird and not cool. Why would you do that? Like, why? It's just why? You didn't need to do it, but you did it anyway. Like, why? I don't hate the... I'm not against the, like, goblin design in Harry Potter. It's just... When you make that... You do, like, the personalities, and then you do the references, and then you do the Star of David. It's like, yeah. In the bank they work at, it's just like, what are you doing? What are we doing here? Oh, that's Aeroblast. I almost died to that. Yeah. I don't know why I'm talking so much. I don't know. Personally, the oh my god, it's a fire move. I'm dead. I'm dead. That's dead. I'm dead. I'll donate. Finesse Pursuits is really bad. Oh, motherfucker, you have a Terrakion. Alright. This dude is really hard. Alright, I have to switch. No, I have to switch. Splash. Oh, how the might be you fallen. Alright, I have a move. It's not a great move, but it's a move. Let me switch out to this, so I can get healed at the I don't think I fought that guy. I don't think I want to right now. That's the doctor dude. Yeah. No, I never noticed the symbolism as a kid, because you know you watch Harry Potter and you just go like, oh, they're just goblins. They're just weird money goblins. Okay. They like gold, and then it's like later on when you see it, you're like, oh. It's really it sucks because like as a kid I was just like, oh, they're just like goblins that like money. They just want money. They just own the banks because they're good with money. And everyone hates them for some reason because they're greedy. But they're monsters, that's okay. In my head, I'm like, they're monsters, that's okay. and then you see the symbol and I'm like, oh. Oh dear lord. Oh, he's not an enemy. I found another toxic orb. I have 2 now. It's like, oh dear god. The goblins are not nice. And then one of them gets burned alive in one of the last movies, which is just completely messed up. Especially with the symbolism. That's actually really fucked up. Like, I'm not lying, that's actually really fucked up. And go like, hey, we know we made these a very they're very clear symbol to anyone that's like over 10, or like anyone who's researched World War II or knows about the Star of David. So yeah, it's weird. And then Harry Potter got controversy with their newest game, whatever it was called. I had a scammer once in a stream try to recommend me to play it before the game even fucking came out. They were like, you should play this game. I'm like, what? They were just saying it in the chat, like, you should play this Harry Potter game. And I'm like, the game hadn't even come out by that point. It was like the day before it came out. I was like, but like, why? I've never played it. Personally, I've heard the story isn't that great either. It's not that great a game, but like, people were upset that like when people would take like, people were upset that people were getting sponsored to do it, and like saying like boycott these people because they're playing the game. It's like, in my mind, like that. I get, well, I'm trying to like rap, like, about it. Yeah, this was like a long time ago. Oh my god, I'm dead. I'm not dead. What I'm trying to say is, what am I trying to say? In my personal opinion, I think I didn't like, even if you like boycotted it, right? The problem is that boycott doesn't help, it only hurts people. It doesn't help anyone. And it also doesn't hurt the people who made the game. Like, here's my 2 cents on it, right? The people who made the game, they don't care. They're gonna make their money regardless, right? And the people who made the game, the CEOs, get their $100,000 paycheck regardless of how well the game does. They'll just fire people if the game doesn't do well. They'll just downsize the company and fire everyone. You know, fire all the low workers who didn't do anything. And then the problem is, even if you boycott it, that's not gonna affect the big streamers. They don't give a shit. They don't give a shit rat's ass. They're not the ones that are going to be affected. It's the small streamers who do it that are going to be affected, and the small people who do it, because they're not big enough to say, like, to have the means to say I can boycott this. Because if it gets people watching, you do it, you know, which sucks, but because that's how it is, you know. That's how it has to be for a lot of people, because it's like, either I do it like this, or I just don't, like, you know, you just... Yeah, and it's sad, and I hate that aspect of it. And I hate the aspect how like, people who are also large, they do these terrible things and there's no punishment. You know, there's nothing. Like, there was that whole controversy where that one person doxed, or that one big YouTuber, like whatever their name was. It was like a reaction YouTuber, which is, I never understood that. Stuff is so dumb. Who's reaction to YouTuber who basically reacts to other people's stuff and has like makes millions of dollars. doxed someone, like actually revealed someone's location and then went to their house and like was threatening them. And they got nothing. There was no punishment, which is utterly ridiculous. Oh, I'm burned now. Well, that sucks. Poison Heal actually got stopped. There was no punishment. It's like, what the fuck? Like, I didn't understand why there was no like, and that's like breaking rules. That's like, and that's not like a oh, you get a slap on the wrist type thing. That's not, if you do this and you get caught, your channel gets deleted. But because they make them so much money, they get nothing. It's utterly ridiculous how like consequences don't matter if like it's really fucking sucks. Yeah, that's my 2 cents. It's just gonna burn me. I don't know why I got all serious conversation there for a second. I just need something to fill the time. Oh my god, I've been recording for like 36 minutes. I did not realize how long I've been recording this video. Ooh, that's a good move. Yeah, that was my 2 cents on a bunch of shit. But yeah, I'm gonna end the part here because it's been going on for like 37 minutes and I've been rambling, and yeah, peace.